to order at 5:46.
All right, roll call. Chair Martin Gilmore,
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Conrad. Here. Leah Moran.
Here.
Stacy Potash.
Here.
We have Councilmember Chelsea Noonenkamp.
Present.
Excused, we have Reese Adams and Englewood School Liaison Emily Ancona. Guests, we have Hillarie Portell and Luis Martirano are arriving. Virtual, we have Lucia Magnuson with communications and Vanessa Davis with communications. Thanks you guys for joining. And staff, we have Director Christina Underhill, Library and Cultural Arts Manager Bethany Lafferty, and Event Supervisor Tony Arnoldy, and Hillarie Portell, Executive Director with Englewood Downtown Development Authority. And Luis, if I'm going to say your last name correct, Martirano?
Martirano. Yeah, that's me. Yep, that was great.
With Redline Contemporary Art Center. All right, we are set.
Great. Okay, so first part is to approve the minutes. Lots of stuff last meeting.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Right. Let's see, so public comment, we don't have any new public comment, right? Just people here to present for new business, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No public comment, we'll move to new business, and first up is Hillarie Portell.
I will screen share.
All right, well, welcome. My name is Hillarie. I direct the new Englewood Downtown Development Authority. We were formed in 2021. Our second year anniversary was last week, and I'm still getting to know everyone and everything and who does what and how we fit into things. So it's very nice to meet all of you, and I look forward to introducing you tonight to what the Englewood Downtown Development Authority is up to. And some particular programs we hope to engage with your group on, if it makes sense to you. First of all, what is a Downtown Development Authority? It is a government entity separate from the City of Englewood, but created to partner closely with the City of Englewood on revitalizing the downtown district. And I'll show you a map as to what comprises the downtown district in a moment. We are a champion for downtown Englewood. We're all about partnering with the city and others like yourselves, like the Historic Society, like the Chamber, to make downtown more economically vibrant, connected, safe, and green. We are led by a local board of business and civic leaders appointed by City Council. We're regulated by state statute. And there are 19 downtown development authorities in Colorado. We were the 19th created, so we're one of the newest. And I might say one of the fastest growing. There's just been a convergence of energy and political support and community support here in Englewood for really improving downtown and using it to make Englewood even more livable than it is today. And so we're grateful for that convergence of activity and really pushing forward. Our board wants to be doers, not planners. So here we go. Next slide, please. We are funded through what's called tax increment. It's kind of complicated. I'll try to simplify it here. Basically, there's no taxes being levied to support the Downtown Development Authority. What we get is what's called the increment. So anything above and beyond the base level of taxes that were in place the year after we were formed. So new development, additions to commercial properties in the district only, not citywide. Okay, we get that little extra bit of property tax, and a little extra bit of sales tax over and above what the city collects on an annual basis. As property values go up downtown, the city continues to collect their portion of property taxes. Even as they go up, the DDA gets just the increment of new activity. Downtown voters voted to approve the DDA to fund it in this way, and also to authorize the DDA to incur up to $70 million in debt over the next 30 years to invest in downtown. So our role is to take that blue slice of the pie, okay, little extra bit of taxes that are being generated downtown and reinvested in the downtown area in accordance with the approved Englewood downtown plan. I can only work in the downtown district. I can only fund things that are in the downtown plan. So I am not a citywide entity. I'm all about downtown every day and every night. And you can see some of the things that we fund on this graphic, and I'll expand on that in the next slide. So this is the downtown district. It broadens the traditional definition of downtown for Englewood. For many, many years, downtown has meant South Broadway. What this effort tries to do is create a larger conception of the central business district for this community that includes the Englewood CityCenter area to the west, the South Broadway area in the center, and what we now call the wellness district of Old Hamden, where Craig and Swedish hospitals are. The downtown district only includes commercial properties and commercially zoned properties. So we don't include any single-family residential neighborhoods or traditional residential neighborhoods. We're all about commercial and mixed-use development. So during the downtown planning process in the end of 2019 and all of 2020, we did a lot of outreach, and one outreach tool was an community e-survey. More than 300 people participated in that, and this is what they said about downtown Englewood. And I like to show this graphic because, you know, this kind of helps me set my compass. It informs our branding, it informs our work plan and our board's priorities. So big old words like walkable, safe, clean, community, local, vibrant, affordable and accessible, inclusive, friendly. Those are some of our guiding themes. Next. So the Englewood Downtown Plan is broken into 5 sections. Economy, jobs, and homes, which is basically economic development. Marketing and programming, public spaces and place enhancements, mobility and transportation, and land use and urban design. So for marketing and programming, the DDA is expected to promote downtown, come up with a unique local identity and logo and marketing around positioning downtown Englewood as a desirable place to live, work, move a business, and otherwise invest in. We keep stakeholders informed through a variety of tactics. We're on Facebook, Instagram. If you live or work downtown, you might get our print newsletter. We also have an e-newsletter that goes to anybody who wants to receive it. Marketing is underway now. Lower right is a new banner program that we're doing with the city of Englewood, which is now launching this new Made in Englewood campaign that you're going to hear about. We're leveraging that, trying to use it to create a downtown program with similar themes. So we're talking about making your mark, I wish I had the whole program to show you, make it green, make it yours, make it great. It's sort of, we're all making community here in Englewood, whether we're artists or not. And Englewood has, in my opinion, and in the research I've done, the conversations I've had, Englewood has this great sort of inventive history. It's a very fiercely independent small community that has made something of itself again and again and again. And so we're really kind of excited about this Made in Englewood campaign and really parlaying it in a wide variety of ways. Next slide, please. Public space enhancements. So we're, very focused on where people gather downtown currently and where they might gather in the future and how to make those safe, welcoming, inviting, inclusive, accessible places. Our first small project is improving the existing paseos on South Broadway. We were able to very quickly secure a grant from CDOT to fund this effort, and it's starting to look like something. On Monday, the plants and trees go in, and then the bike racks, and then the overhead string lights. But it's all about activating those two spaces. They're kind of our front door in a way. You know, most people encounter the historic main street of our downtown through the paseos and the parking lots on either side. So we want those to be very welcoming places. Mobility and transportation is really a huge priority for this effort because the three parts of downtown are not very well connected if you're not in a car, right? So connecting cohesive connections, multimodal options are really important to our board. We want people to be able to get to, from, and around downtown in a variety of ways. Whether you're in your private vehicle, whether you're taking the bus, the Englewood trolley, whether you're using a wheelchair or other wheel device, maybe you have a baby jogger or a stroller. Everybody's getting around in different ways, and it needs to be safe and accessible for everyone. We do have some fairly vulnerable communities in town, a good number of people with disabilities of all kinds. We have a number of seniors. We have 5 senior communities just around Old Hampton alone. People with young children, people with chronic disease. So, you know, associated with our hospitals and injuries. So we need this downtown to be easy and safe to get around. And right now, it's kind of hard, you know, and the traffic's going just a little too fast, you know, for most people.
It's so scary some days.
Yeah.
I want to walk down here and I have to cross 285. I'm always like, don't everyone run those red lights, you know, which is real. Like, it can be scary.
Crossing 285 is a big thing. Yeah. Parking, I gotta be concerned about parking, but I'm interested in vehicle parking, but I'm also interested in bicycle parking. I'm interested in having a wheelchair charging station in the sales, which is a new amenity for us. Where does Uber and Lyft park? What about scooters? You know, we need to accommodate all the modes that people will be using to get around town. Next slide, please. And I can make parking really, really fascinating if you we also participate with the city on land use and urban design policy making, you know, weighing in on zoning decisions, how buildings should look and relate to the public realm, encouraging compact mixed use, walkable development, etc. Very interested in encouraging adaptive reuse of older buildings. We do have a lot of older buildings, particularly in the South Broadway area, that contribute to local identity. We want to maintain those and not just lose them one by one. Economy, jobs, and homes, and we're going to be talking about this tonight too. This is economic development, filling vacant storefronts downtown, attracting new investment downtown, supporting local business. That's in conjunction with the Englewood Chamber and the City Economic Development Department. Encouraging a variety of home types and prices in the downtown district. We're very concerned about the need for workforce housing in our community. If our workforce cannot afford to live here, what happens? They drive here because they're living way, way, way out, and they're driving in and out of downtown every day. What does that create? Traffic congestion, noise, pollution, and parking problems. Not to mention the wear and tear on the workers themselves and their ability to pay for their daily expenses. Next slide, please. City Spark. This is something we want to share with you, and Louise is going to get into this. Right in here, oh, isn't this fun? Okay, right over there. You know that this city center area is in transition right now. As plans for redeveloping portions of it work their way through the process, we've got a lot of vacancies. We have less foot traffic to support the local businesses. little more concern about crime and the needs of our unhoused population. And generally a need to activate this area and keep it a community activity center and keep it marketable to the real estate community. So there is a comprehensive strategy in place right now that we're part of, but not the only player, to increase private security, private maintenance, outreach services to the unhoused community. We're doing marketing, city's doing events, and this is an activation program that the kind of thing that's done in a lot of downtown districts right now that are having vacant spaces. The idea here is that we would like to fill some of these spaces right across the way here with organizations that support and grow local artists, entrepreneurs, and local history. And so we're working on a program with the property owner to offer space at no cost for at least a 12-month period, perhaps longer. Our hope is longer. The tenants have to pay utilities. They have to agree to program their spaces in different ways. And we're supporting the program with the branding, some window decals, and investment in downtown events. So the three organizations that are part of this project are Historic Englewood, the Guild, which is growing into a small business incubator, and the Redline Contemporary Art Center. That's a little space for Tony's program for special events because they're doing a big focus in the city center area as well. We're calling it City Spark, and Louise will tell you a little bit more about Redline's activity. Wanted to also point out that we are allocating funds to the city special events program to help make a summer market series bigger, more impactful, and a better draw to the area, enhancing Tony's very popular summer concert series that you guys are also a partner in, as I understand. And also helping grow and enhance the holiday market in December. We just got off a Zoom with the new event planning firm we brought on board. They're called Eventful Productions. They do everything from the city of Denver's Cinco de Mayo celebration next week in City Center to very small locally neighborhood scale events around the metro area. But we're playing with a concept for the summer markets that is more around a people's maker market as opposed to a farmer's market. So really embracing this idea of making in Englewood, making of Englewood, making a community together. So I'm hoping we can interface with the Cultural Arts Commission and the people that you serve to invite musicians, chalk artists, any artists who want to sell their merchandise, or perhaps for pay, bring some kind of creative activity to the market series. We're doing that outreach right now because the first one is in early June. So I'm hoping that we can maybe put our event firm in touch with this commission and any ideas you have or outreach you would be willing to help with. We would like to make this a very colorful, creative, meaningful gathering that people enjoy throughout the summer. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Louise to talk about Redline Contemporary Arts Center and the things that opportunities they're going to bring.
Hello.
So is there time for me to actually know everybody? So I can know everybody who's around the table, or is there not time for introductions?
We could probably do brief
Just
introductions.
so I can, say no.
Well, I'm Martin Gilmore, I'm the chair.
Great.
I'm Kyle Conrad, the vice chair.
My name is Leah. I am on the commission.
Stacy Potash, I'm also a member of the commission.
I'm Debbie Severa. I'm the executive assistant for Parks and Rec.
Christine Underhill, Director for Parks, Rec, Library, and Golf.
Amazing.
Me, Englewood, Event Supervisor. Correct. I cheated, I'm at our outside.
It's You guys are becoming a red telephone for some reason. You guys don't know this yet, but yeah.
And on the call, we have Beth Lafferty. She's our library and cultural arts manager. And then I'll have Councilmember Noonan Camp introduce herself.
Hi, Chelsea Camp, City Council Member for District 2.
And then Lucia and Vanessa are with our communications department. They'll be doing a presentation this evening.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. One of the kind of values that Redline as a contemporary art center and organization in the Five Points neighborhood we really work from a space of, building depth versus scale when it comes to the relationships that we have in communities, and that we don't, necessarily push ourselves onto anyone, but love to be invited and kind of know the spaces that we're going to and seeing the opportunity. So it's been through Hillarie's invitation to start to deepen this work with Englewood, and I of course just have this unbridled advocacy for artists in all communities, which is how Redline really has been operating through our satellite program, which is what Hillarie and I really have been working through. And if you want to jump to this website, that is awesome. We basically were, Redline as an organization, for those who may not be familiar, it's share that. And if it doesn't, it's no big deal.
All right,
Yeah.
Chelsea, no,
They can only
okay.
Shoot, I did
Oh,
this
no,
on my end.
no, we're good.
It linked on the computer, but didn't show it.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't. Also, it's no biggie. I mean, I'll just keep, so Redline is a 22,000 square foot warehouse space in the Five Points neighborhood. And it's our main location, which really is, where it all began in 2008, is an exhibition space, a community studio space, a library space, and surrounding it all are artist studios. And so we provide free studio space for 2 years and help incubate artist careers, because artists, unfortunately, are in this space where there's really not, there is not a sector or model that's supporting them. It's just like if you decide to be an artist, whether it's a dancer, a musician, a visual artist, it's just like it's all on you, and you got to be everything. So Redline really tries to respond. There we go. Great.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that. So sorry. So anyway, what we realized through our residency program, which we get around 300 applications for artists to apply to the program, who are wanting to connect with community, who are trying to work in a way that's relevant to the community in which we're in, and seeing how their careers can grow. And what we've noticed is that after the 2 years, sure enough, having this exposure to community has developed stronger relationships and thus resources around their practice. And they then, because of that greater economy around their work, because of the exposure and the opportunity and the advocacy that comes within the residency model, they move out, and then, and a realization of like, where do you go in this very, very unaffordable real estate market? So Redline Satellite Program really was responding to this concept of like, we need artists to be able to sustain and stay in our communities, right? So, we don't want artists to move to Kansas, we want to continue to build the cultural vitality of our communities through the artists, because they're stewards of that work. And they touch every issue that communities oftentimes are thinking about, We've certainly seen that at Redline. So, the satellite program really began with actually affordable housing development, where one of our board members said, hey, we have a retail space at the base that's about 1,500 square feet. Do you have an artist or an artist collective that would be interested in utilizing this space and working with the community above? And we did, and that really started the idea for the program that utilizing vacant retail space to asset match what communities need through what artists need, and saying like, hey, there's something here. And realizing that, for a developer or a business district or, government owner, whatever, to try to organize artists may not seem like their special skill. So Redline has been able to help to show that actually artists are fantastic humans that everybody should work with. But if you need, an insurance waiver to do so, we're here to help with that, We will provide that policy of certification of coverage so the good work can happen. So, if you want to scroll down a little, I think there is a way to, okay. Okay, so this is
Oh, wait.
maybe, let me cruise. That's the one that makes the most sense in this discussion. Keep going.
How many satellites do you have now?
So we'll stop here. So this is, we have 5 currently in the works, are currently operating, and then some in the works, obviously. Hooray. This was one of the first ones, and it's my favorite of the models. This, and you'll know that it's my favorite because of the collaboration that it involves and supporting the community it is within. So this is about 5 minutes north of Redline, pushing from 5 Points to Globeville. And we were basically reached out by the Rhino Arts District and said, hey, would you like to operate a satellite program in this space? The city donated the land. The district raised the funds for the facility. And then the library, Redline, and Kamal, which is a part of Focus Points that helps support immigrant families to actually kickstart their culinary businesses within that space. So it's like a culinary incubator in the coolest way. And yeah, it sounds like you guys do know this. It's a great organization. So, these were folks that I work with. The library is like the first and best community center. You see everybody at the libraries. And so I was just like, okay, I work with the library all the time. Like, this is good. I wanted to make sure the partners would be aligned as far as our values. And so we launched this program, and we created a satellite opportunity where we basically took the cost of the building, which was because there's no, property taxes, because the building was donated, everything. It was about $1,600 a month, and we divided by the amount of studio spaces to make sure the studio space would carry the cost. So though it's not free, it is at a very affordable rate because of and that affordability is passed on to the artists. So Redline does not receive any funds for this, but what we were able to do is provide these affordable studio spaces and then help artists begin to have a place to go. The other part about this that I adore, which we're working on with this space, or hoping to, is that Alto Gallery, which was originally located on the north side off of Tennyson Street and founded by Anthony Garcia Sr., who is one of our alumni. His gallery was being kicked out by the t-shirt shop. And he called me and said, hey, do you know some spaces? Well, Anthony now operates the gallery that sits within the studio spaces. And as an alumni to the program, it's this like wonderful relationship. He has a space for free to do his very community relevant programming. The artists have studio spaces that get exposure because of the programming that Anthony does. And it's just, again, that responsive model to space, which is really kind of the model that I shared with Hillarie and what really informed our thinking about this. And knowing that alumni to Redline's residency certainly are Englewood-based artists, and also some of the initiative going on like Continuum Studios and Blue Tile Studios are connected through our network. And so wanting to kind of, again, see if Redline could be supportive in organizing space for artists here in Englewood, because there isn't an organizing, galvanizing entity that necessarily has the capacity potential or has the model, but could help to incubate one initially and give some security around the idea. I think it is not necessarily Redline's dream to manage all the spaces that are needed for artists, for affordable artist spaces. I don't think that it's not building an empire, but if it is helping to secure spaces to show a model that incubate relevant community organizations to carry it on because they need space for their programming, then perfect. So I think that's trying to like kind of build capacity and inventory for affordable studio space that we see in a very community responsive way. The partners that Redline is speaking to, in addition to the artists in Englewood, to do rotating exhibitions at markets and in this space across the street, as well as, you know, having a studio program, which would do an invitation out for all artists to apply. You know, for those who are interested in through a lens of equity, how we could bring artists into that space that wouldn't be able to afford a space otherwise. But have amazing careers and amazing things to offer, but just are not accessible because they are working oftentimes on their kitchen tables or in their, you know, dining rooms, etc. So, you know, working with doing a call out to bring artists in, but then also we have been in touch with many arts collectives from the West Side, like Los Fantasmas, who it's a Chicano-led arts collective who really need exhibition space for some of their programming. And they are one of our fiscally sponsored projects. So one of the ways that Redline again tries to support artists who don't have access to funding, don't have access to space, don't have access to relationships that can secure funding in space is through our fiscally sponsored program, which really just tries to remove those barriers and be the backup office. Like, how can we help good work happen? Which is really kind of our role here. It's just like how we have models and you know, insurance that works. Insurance. And, you know, then artists and community members can run with it. And you know, there's no fear around that when it comes to us. We also do, you know, once artists get into the space, we see an enormous opportunity to see how those artists will respond to what the community is sharing with them. You know, and how that can be, whether it's open studio programs and how we can build in the relationships that can occur between community members who come into downtown and the creative spaces that will welcome them in. So yeah, and if you want to cruise down another little section, this is the Evans School. So this is another model where, you know, it was set for redevelopment within a 5-year period. It sat empty in Denver eternally. And then it was finally bought by City Street investors. And then again, they approached me and said, you know, there's space in here. What can we do? You know, our redevelopment timeline has been pushed back. They handed over to Redline. We had 42 leases within a month because it was affordable. Artists knew to come to Redline to find space, and we could do, again, that asset match. So now the Evans School is filled with artists. It's oftentimes filled with also programming that the artists design, book signing, how also artists help to leverage what they have for others is always something that is just part of their DNA. The generosity of the creative sector is, you know, again, never paid enough. So yeah, this is another example where I do feel like there is just kind of nerve centers of energy that comes with supporting artists, you know, in so many ways, and how they're connected to these broader, you know, the studios may be best designed to support visual artists, but visual artists are connected to musicians, are connected to poets, are connected to other creative activities that we feel like, again, the space here could be an incubator for and a space for. I don't know if I'm sharing too much, but do you have any questions?
Awesome.
So I think basically our request tonight for your consideration would be, could we provide a call for artists through the Cultural Arts Commission for the opportunity to occupy some of the affordable studio spaces that Redline will be managing? And then could we also do a call for vendors for the Creative Market Series that we're putting together June, July, and August through Tony's program?
I think we're already in some ways doing the vendor piece. Or are you wanting more vendors? Like when I think of those booths, is that very similar?
It's similar, yeah.
You see it as two different?
No, I guess I didn't know. I hadn't talked to Hillarie about what you guys were doing.
Yeah.
and I wasn't sure what your scope was, you know, like if
Yeah.
you guys were looking specifically or what that was. So I had shared with her, your help with the musicians and the live music. And so, that's my fault. I kind of
No, no, I,
forgot about that. But yeah, they could definitely coincide, but theirs is obviously much larger scale than,
Yeah.
than mine.
Yeah, and we're not looking for money or anything. I could put together a flyer if that's helpful, that could be sent
Yeah,
out through your communication channels and.
so the one thing we have said yes to, and I think this is all in line with what we want to do, but we are trying to sponsor booths, like our committee pay for artists to be at Tony's markets. So we approved that piece because we do want artists at those markets. So very much in line, but I do think if there's a bigger vision,
And we have a large list of artists, so that's,
yeah.
we could definitely get
Yeah.
that,
Love
that information.
So,
So if I put together a
I
simple.
don't think we have to, unless we're spending money.
yeah, we can give you any list you want to reach out to our artists and do a call through our website.
I don't think we have to do a motion with that. Debbie, do we have to do a motion to that? I don't
Only
think
if you're going to be spending money.
so. That's what I
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We can,
Sounds good.
I don't know how do we do that? You can email me and Deb through
We
Debbie.
could, in theory, just share the entire database with them.
That's fine.
I don't know if we're allowed to. Are we allowed to share our
Well, we can
database?
send out a call through the listserv.
But I mean, could we
But-
directly send our database to them, or do we have to keep that only among
I
our
think we need to
committees?
keep it within the
Yeah,
city.
but if you would send us the information, we can send
I'll make it easy.
it to our group, great.
We are holding like, Tina from Blue Tile Studios and Shelley from Continuum. We're trying to do early, like, listening sessions and community sessions with the artists, just to hear kind of like, again, the many things we don't know that we want to be thoughtful about when it comes to, what artists in Englewood are needing, you know, knowing that many have come to Redline, so I feel like there is some lovely already overlap there, but, there are kind of, you know, again, my driving down and just kind of sitting in a circle with folks and being like, okay, what do you want to do? And what are you thinking? And what do you need? And what would be supportive? So,
How many spaces do you all intend on having?
you know, I mean, I think the first footprint is 5 studios. Is that right? 7?
It was 5 plus the space.
With the
that could be
little,
2.
yeah, with the little guys, yeah.
And
so-
then the exhibit space, the secondary space.
Yep. So Los Fantasmas really does not need studio space, but needs exhibition space. But I could see how, you know, again, it could rotate with other smaller organizations within Englewood who also want to present work. And then the studio spaces, there's 2 kind of smaller ones in there that may or may not work. But yeah, I feel like at the minimum, it would be 5, or if I'm remembering the space. And then we would again have like an alto, you know, an organization relationship or an artist collective, who would help to utilize the community space, that would help invite folks in to connect with the artists, do exhibitions monthly or every 2 months for openings. And then I see the spaces also organizing together with the other partners along the retail space to do events as a collective. I was taking another look at kind of the businesses that, you know, surround the downtown area and being like, okay, what can we do? I'm sure 24-hour fitness has a lot of activity they want to do. So, you know, just seeing what is possible to leverage.
Great. Thank you.
Sure, cool.
Yes, send us that, we'll share it with our artists. This is great. Glad you're here.
Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you all. Yeah, and if you are in downtown Denver, please come to Redline.
Okay.
And it's just, I mean, if you have not been already, and if you haven't, I would love to host you.
Great.
So yeah, even if it's like, I know it's weird, you're like in Englewood, but it's not in Denver. You know?
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting all of you. Okay. Do you want me? Oh, I'm happy to do whatever is.
Shall we move on to
Yes, I am.
Lucia? All right,
Lucia and Vanessa.
Lucia and Vanessa.
Hi, guys. Lucia is going to present or share our presentation and we'll get started. So Lucia and I work on the communications team for the city of Englewood, and the city is launching kind of a umbrella campaign to celebrate the city's wins and different things that are going on within the city. And it's called Uniquely Englewood. And part of Uniquely Englewood is really celebrating the art and the different things that make Englewood the home that we live in and that we love so much. So just a little overview of the campaign is that, can you go? Thank you. It kind of what I've already said, it's a really special place to live. It's anything from that small town feel to our diverse downtown that Hillarie really touched on, to our parks, to all of our restaurants, everything that really highlights us as a city. A big goal of this campaign is to increase awareness of the positive things and happenings within the city, along with showcase the different aspects of what truly makes Englewood unique. And one thing that we really have hit home on a lot is the fact that Englewood has so much art, from the murals, from the grass sculpture, from the pieces from MOA. Like, we are very special and unique in that area that there really is art throughout our whole city. So kind of a mood board of the campaign to get you guys a little feel of what it is. It's kind of this spin on mid-century modern with a modern take. Englewood has, as you drive down South Broadway, so much mid-century modern inspiration. And we kind of wanted to tie into some of that past stuff, but as we look forward to as a city in an updated way. So what we are proposing is we're proposing 2 different murals as part of the Uniquely Englewood campaign. And these murals, really, we want them to be kind of interactive photo pieces that people come to know as, oh, that's in Englewood. And they would know to go, and that's where that mural is. And really to tie into the dedication part of Englewood of the art in public places. Another goal is to highlight, which we said, it's also to encourage community members and visitors to visit those 2 different murals. We have 2 different locations that we think would be really positive to really get that foot traffic in and for people to enjoy the art, but also enjoy the businesses and everything else that is around Englewood. So we want to put them in prominent areas that tie into our placemaking and wayfinding. So the first one this is our first one and the one we're excited to launch sooner, is one at the CityCenter. This summer, the CityCenter is going to be home to the Sunset Concert Series, the Englewood Markets. In the fall, it is normally home to the tree lighting. This year it's Celebrate Englewood, which we're going to miss by a bit, but the CityCenter is really having a resurgence, kind of what Hillarie was talking about, filling up those storefronts. We really want, when people are in the city center, to feel that vibrant art that they get along South Broadway and kind of bring some of that MOA stuff back into it. And one of our ways was to make this kind of beautiful but simple mural that would be a great photo opportunity for people as they're at the different events, and encouraging them to share these different ones with hashtag Uniquely Englewood. So that's our first concept.
Yeah, so I'm going to take over our second concept. So this would be more, we want it to be located on the 3400 block. We did some location scouting for 2 locations. One was this really big wall that's across from One Barrel, where it's formerly Kaufman's. And then one is a south-facing wall in the East Paseo. Again, we're just looking at locations, seeing where there's space. We're trying to figure out what the mural process is in general. I've never done a mural before, so this is just our concept ideas for it. For this, we would have the artists, whoever we select, really make something that's really fun with the uniquely Englewood brand. And I have some examples here. So these are just some ideas. There's the simple "I love you so much." Again, this is a crowd favorite. People take a lot of photos by this "I love you so much." And then we have the "Keep Oklahoma Friendly." Again, very simple concepts, just to add to the 3400 block and add that uniquely Englewood hidden gem type of feel onto there. For installation and display, so for concept number 1, this would be a permanent display. Again, southeast facing wall in the Civic Center. Staff would be installing the artwork, so we would make it part of our intern project for the summer. So they would help us paint the mural throughout the summer. And then when we anticipate, hopefully we can get it completed before the 2023 Sunset Concert Series, so it can be unveiled there. For concept number 2, again, permanent display. This would be around the 3400 block. A muralist would be installing the artist. And if we can acquire funding for this mural, then we'd like the mural to be created possibly during the 2023 block party as a live event and a live viewing of the mural going up. If we don't have funding in 2023, then this would be hopefully created in 2024. We would acquire that funding for 2024 so we could launch it at the 2024 block party. As part of maintenance and conservation, concept 1, with all of the costs that we are accounting for this mural, the total would be $932, and that's basically for materials and not staff time. And the life cycle of these materials would be around 5 years, so we would just have to reseal every 5 years and touch up. Artist fees, again, would be 0, installation cost 0 for that. And then for concept number 2, again, just looking for a lot of guidance on this. Not really sure how to estimate desired materials. Obviously, it's going to depend on the design, what the life cycle would be. And then restoration oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Restoration and the life of the piece, again, would depend. So really, our question for you is just guidance on this mural process. Does the CAC have funding opportunities for this type of project? We were estimating that a mural would cost around $3,000. Again, open to guidance on that. And then if funding's not available in 2023, we can pool the funding for the 2024 budget. We're just trying to figure out an estimated cost of what we'll need for this mural project. And that's it.
Great.
Hopefully, I'm sorry if you just saw my presenter notes, but my computer was freaking out.
Our commission does set aside money for murals, but we already designated that money to the Murals and Mason Jars event for this year. That
Okay.
doesn't necessarily mean, there, I guess, are possibly other places we could see if we could find money, but the money that the commission has set aside for that has already been designated for this year.
Okay.
But we haven't thought about that for next year.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that true? I can't remember his name.
No, you're correct.
And would that process be, we would reach out, we would put a proposal out to muralists, get their cost proposal, and then that would be the funding for the mural? I'm just trying to understand the process.
For when we've done calls for art in the past, we kind of give a maximum budget, and then they submit a proposal for how much it would cost, and then
Okay.
you can ask for the artist to provide the materials within that budget.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
But
great.
it seems like your cost is in line with other murals that have been done. So
Okay, perfect.
proposed.
I know.
I think if they keep it that simple.
Yeah, if you keep it simple.
If you're really just doing a quote,
Yeah,
then probably 3 to 5.
Yeah.
But if
Okay.
you start to add details in
it
and
gets-
square footage, depending on how big of square footage, you are gonna accrue more than that.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds
It's
good.
like you probably even have more.
I didn't want to say anything, but if you need any help with, I know you're 100%, I'm just like, not enough,
Yeah.
not with the size of those walls.
Yeah, those are big walls. So, I mean,
The
I think-
square footage factor is enormous.
yeah, 3,000 is a very friendly,
Yeah.
but probably not gonna get you there.
Is
So what
there
do you
an
think, like,
estimated,
5 to 10?
Yeah, I mean, depending upon the artist that you're engaging with, obviously, you know, like Anthony, who I just mentioned, he's much more expensive than that based on square footage, based on the level of artists you're bringing in and the proposal. So you want to think about budget based on like but then also, you know, as far as you can also ask the artist for the maintenance schedule, and then they can provide a cost affiliated with that maintenance schedule, and so you can understand the scope. But I just want to offer my, like, for you guys who are like, if you, I mean, there are literally 5 lifts in my alley right now installing murals.
Okay.
Detours, so you would be so welcome to reach out to me if you want to just kind of take a temperature to then come back to this group and share more. Happy to be a resource.
I really appreciate that. Seriously. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course.
And then I also thought that maybe as we're going through this process for the Cultural Arts Commission, just making some type of checklist. So when you do future muralists, people know what they need to get and what the process looks like. And then we can put that on your website also.
Great.
Yeah.
Lucia does our website.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Sorry, I'm the web and digital content strategist for the city. So I'm in the communications department.
And I actually think you're making me think of an interesting point, like which comes first, because on the commission, we've done both, where we've done a call and we give a price
Yeah.
range and we approve it. And then we've also done it where we get the concept and then we figure out the price and then we approve it. And so I think we don't necessarily have that like, clear.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's not a clear policy of how we've approved art projects. So that's an interesting thing for us to think about, which one comes first,
Definitely.
which I think you're asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I went based off of your public art proposal form for how I based our presentation, just so I had like some type of baseline for what information we needed.
I think the role of the building owner is important too.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's their vision or desire, and how much input do they get, and do they have a role in approval for something that's going to be on their property for some period of time?
Yeah, I feel like we're going through that right now with felt because it's their building with the murals and mason jars. So what is their theme, but what do we value as a thing? You know,
Yeah.
it is that. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And then as we're getting more information about this mural, the second concept, when would we represent to you in terms of attempting to get the funding for 2024?
Is it January? Does it turn over?
Yeah, you get new funding starting January 1.
Okay.
So maybe
Okay.
a presentation in December, so you know what's coming.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Perfect.
It's for January.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's
Can I
all we
jump
have
in?
today.
Can I jump in and
Did
ask
they
a
need
question?
any approval for
Yeah.
the first one though? But we're not doing many. Never mind.
No,
I don't know why I
not doing
keep feeling a
anything.
need to like.
It's all done.
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys are good.
Oh, Chelsea has a question.
Okay,
Sorry.
thanks.
I'm curious because I've been working with some of the staff on this Uniquely Englewood campaign, and I'm curious just how it resonates with the Cultural Arts Commission, especially if the city does come back for funding for 2024 on this kind of campaign. I'm just curious is it attractive to the Cultural Arts Commission, and what do you think of the campaign generally? I'm just curious in your feedback.
On which one, Chelsea?
Uniquely.
The Uniquely Englewood concept.
Oh, the mid-modern.
I
And
think-
go ahead.
I think that that's cool, like to have a real identifying thing is a big deal. I mean, that you come, if you see that, the picture and you know that it's Englewood, that's like perfect placemaking stuff. I really appreciate that about other cities and other like businesses, theaters that I've been to, et cetera, that have those things. It like is a nice little collector's item as a selfie or whatever to say, oh, I've been there. Here I am at this famous thing. I like the Silver Bean in Chicago or stuff like that. I think it's great. I think that's cool.
Definitely. And we're going to have a lot more things coming out at Celebrate Englewood. We have an interactive board where people can write down what they love about Englewood and it forms this tree. And it has that uniquely Englewood branding on that. We'll also have stickers. And we're also going to have a social media campaign where we show the city's accomplishments and just build pride in the community. So there's a lot coming down the pipeline. We're just beginning. With all of this. And I'm excited. And I really want to include artists in this.
Mhm.
So you'll probably see us a lot talking about uniquely Englewood.
Have any other suggestions about things we need like that? The mural submission or whatever. Let us know about that too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm
You
working
don't
with
have to spend
Debbie.
money on that.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm working with Debbie on your guys' Cultural Arts Commission landing page too. So
Cool. Awesome.
Just getting ready.
yeah.
Getting close.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
That's nice to hear about the mural funding, but if we're low, maybe we need to reconsider that.
I keep worrying that.
I guess if people will reply to it. Christina.
Yeah, so, our next, July CAC meeting falls the week of July 4th.
Yeah,
So, is it July 4th?
it's the 5th. but-
July 5th.
5th. So it's up to you all. If we can hold the meeting that day, if people are gonna be out of town and not be able to meet quorum, if you want to bump it a week or however you'd like to do that. So up for discussion.
I will be around.
I don't know yet. I technically have that week off, so 50-50 right now, but I'd like to think I'm gonna do something and not be around.
Okay.
That's the
I'm
goal.
hoping that I'll be out of town.
Okay.
I'm sorry to miss your fireworks.
It's okay. We'll do it again next year.
Okay.
But I could do the 12th.
Okay.
It's also possible that I will be here, but the
Oh,
pushing
you're
a week
moving
would be
into the
helpful.
next week. We've done that. in the past.
Yeah, that's what it would be is, if you bump it 1 week, it'd be July 12th.
It sounds like we need to probably push it with the quorum problem, don't we? Or
Sure.
I would prefer July 12th. I'll just-
Okay.
I'm good for either. So
We'd have to vote.
should we just, we'll move it to the July 12th?
Yeah.
We should probably make a motion.
Correct.
to do that.
Yeah.
I will move to push the CAC meeting to July 12th.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Uh,
All opposed? All right. Put it in my calendar. Let's see. Moving on to old business. Artist grants. Kyle, do you have any?
We, sorry, boy entering calendar.
Yeah.
See. I started working with Debbie and Tony on that, but I think we're ironing out the logistics and there was a couple things that I wasn't sure on that I think we needed to figure out.
The one thing I was kind of concerned about is June, the
Yeah.
June market. There really just isn't time.
Yes.
So I've talked to Tony some, Christina some on, so, I mean, I don't know if, Tony, you had some ideas also, kind of. I did go ahead and submit the request to communications to have them start working on.
Yeah.
I did, for the deadline for the markets. So trying to give the artists enough time to kind of build up the product, you know, so they have enough to sell. So I did the application deadline for the July and the August and the block party. I did that all the deadline of May 31st.
Oh, for all of them, okay.
Because then you guys could review them in June, at the June meeting. That would give the artists 1 month for the July, and then that would give them almost like 2 months or 2.5 months for the July, or the August and the block party. Does that make sense? And then,
Do you think, one stipulation, if we don't get enough people to submit,
We can bump that deadline.
can we bump
Yeah.
it? That's my only,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool.
They can still see. It's.
oh, they can,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, the holiday market, I did the deadline of September 25th, because that would give them almost like 3 months,
Yeah.
October, November, oh no, 2 months.
Yeah.
Do you think that's enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my gut is that some of the artists who will apply will already have a lot of art created, and this is just gonna be another place, but then when I think of maybe mercantile type people who are, you know, like doing soaps or that kind of stuff, it might take them, I
Okay,
don't know. I think we'll find out is what,
okay. Yeah, and like, you know, Christina was saying, we can always change or extend the deadline.
totally.
So-
And it would be, I think this is kind of a learning process is how I'm approaching it because we haven't
Yeah.
done it, so.
I'm having communications create a form in the application. It'll include the name, the address, phone, their email, a website if applicable, their art or product that they'll be selling if they don't have the website, and then to upload photo. Then a check mark or a list of the events where they can check the boxes that they are interested in participating. And then a table intent if needed.
Yeah, that was my question is like, could
Yeah.
we provide that if they mark it or do you not have that? Cause I don't want to obviously like stretch the city to bring them.
Okay.
Okay.
And then they can submit or when they submit their application, it will come to the CAC email. So, does that sound like that'll work?
Yeah,
Great.
that's great.
Thank you. I feel like I'm like, I don't know what I need
Oh,
for this.
no,
I
no,
just
and
know
now
we
that
need to
we
do it.
kind of have it laid out.
Yeah, that's great.
Next year's will be easier.
Yeah.
If you decide to go that way.
And the biggest deadline is if they're selling, they have to get an Englewood sales tax license. So I need 2 weeks plus a day, right? So that's gonna be the biggest thing is like making sure they have enough time to get that so that they can be at the market. As far as my end of things, once they have that sales tax license, we have a lot more wiggle room and leverage.
Can we add a booth to another market for you since we won't have June's? Since that money is approved, just add another one to a different date.
Well, if you guys wanna wait and see if you get,
Enough artists.
yeah, when is the deadline for the June?
May 31st.
May 31st.
And that would be too late for them to be at the June 1st.
And we won't
Yeah,
even
we're
have time to
talking
review
July.
it, so it
Yeah.
won't happen. So we know
So-
June will be out, so it's like, we could potentially, if we had multiple candidates, maybe just move you 2 to July or something.
Or more at the block party.
Yeah, more at the block party,
Or the
which is,
market in December, so you have wiggle room.
Yeah.
On that.
That's cool.
that sounds
Okay,
good.
so every month, we'll find something.
We'll put them somewhere.
Great.
So I'll let you guys know as soon as that is, communications gets it posted.
Okay.
And then we'll also put it out on the CAC, the website. We have a tab that's for artists. So we'll add that to there.
All right, music update from me. I have somebody for the June market. They're a new band from Englewood called Floyd Hill. I guess you're gonna call your band something. But they're Swallow Hill, they're Swallow Hill affiliated as well. And then I have for the lounges, the happy hours is what we're calling them. Matt Skellinger, who plays every Sunday at the Breakfast on Broadway, and he graduated from Englewood High School. He plays bass. And then Felix Fast Forward to play guitar. he's an Englewood person. I'm still working on the other two. So that's the first two are all set for that. Yeah, we have lots of ideas, so just waiting for.
He's gonna have the wind ensemble.
Nice.
Cool, and that's all for that. All right, upcoming events. Tell me.
Celebrate Englewood is Saturday. I'll
Be there.
your table done,
Yay.
so we will be good on that. And I'll have
Are you
it.
gonna be around?
I'm gonna get back to you, but tentatively.
Okay.
And then we will have then the June market, so kind of have May to like take a deep breath for the rest of the season. So, yeah, so I'll see you there on Saturday and then.
It starts at 10, right?
Mhm.
Is it here? Yes.
Did we have like an email sign up sheet or anything that we've used for our booths before?
We did a sign up
Yeah,
just
sign up
yesterday.
sheet.
Like a sign up genius?
Isn't that what you sent out last year for the block
We did it
party?
for the block party.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we did do a sign up. And
Do you want me to
that's-
create one tomorrow? And,
Just for
Okay.
people who stop by the booth if they're interested in. being
Oh,
part of
I
the
see
artist
what
registry.
Oh, that kind of sign up.
Can they
yeah,
send it
I'll create.
online? Because we could do a QR code.
Yeah,
That'd be good. I mean, I have an email list that I use for music stuff that just says email list. I could get that.
For the call for artists.
Yeah, just for the artist registry, if there's folks.
In worst case, we can, just do a
Yeah.
paper sign.
I mean, I can do.
Because it
Take
is
a picture of
Saturday.
it.
But I just wasn't sure if we had something that we'd used before.
Out of line, do you do murals? So.
For cheap.
I'll ask everybody, yeah, do you do
Cheap.
murals? Do you do?
What was the ballpark figure? Like 20 grand. Yep.
Great. Staff's choice.
I don't have any updates. I think events are kicking off and that's exciting and you guys are doing good work with the murals and the medium project has been sent to Public Works for review of this top 6. So we should hear back from them in the next couple weeks.
Right.
So we'll have an update hopefully in the June meeting to give you.
I wanted to say sorry to Bethany. I missed the art opening for the library. I had to go out of town that night and I spaced it out. I apologize. I hope it was good. Well,
No
I'll be at the
problem.
next-
It turned out really good.
Good. I'll be at the next one or somebody will be at the next one for sure. So. And Commissioner's Choice. Anything from anybody?
Chelsea would have.
Chelsea, do you have something?
I was just gonna say, I was at the library reception for the art show and I thought it was really excellent and really exciting to see that program take off. And really excited for all the work that you guys are looking to do this year. I'm really excited to see some of the murals go up. I will be at Celebrate Englewood at the City Council booth this Saturday, so stop by.
Great. My 4-year-old is so excited to the trucks.
Yeah, cool.
I'm talking about it forever.
Mhm.
All right, that's all. We'll adjourn. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
thanks you guys. I want to go.